What is up, App Nation? Welcome to another Friday YouTube live stream where we take a look at your apps, really give you a master class on what's working in the app space to help you grow your downloads and your revenues. And my favorite part, we tell some dad jokes along the way. And today we're going to talk all about how do you skyrocket your engagement, thereby helping you increase maybe your monthly active users, daily active users, introduce new features, currently on board, wake up those idle users as well. And we got a we got a great guest to talk all about that and a great tool that's going to show you how to easily do all this and so much more. But without further ado, let me introduce the guest. His name is all the way in Turkey, by the way, Aykut. He is the head of product and business at App Samurai, which is the umbrella company of the tool that we're going to actually look at, Storyteller, and I'll pull all that up. But Aykut, welcome to the show.
Yeah. Hi, Steve. Thanks for having me.
Hey, Aykut, tell us a little bit about Storyteller, and we're going to talk all about the onboarding process first and engagement. But can you tell us a little bit about Storyteller?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can start with introducing the company first, maybe.
Yeah.
Our parent company is App Samurai, and App Samurai has 3 different products which touch the different parts of mobile lifecycle. The first one is App Samurai, which is a user acquisition platform. It brings more than 400 ad networks in a single dashboard that you can use. The second one is Intercepted, which is a fraud prevention suite during the mobile advertising flow. And the third one, the last one, is Storyteller.io. So our brand new product. I mean, it's more than a year now, and it's my current focus. And nice. Storyteller basically a customer engagement platform that you can integrate with your app, and it brings stories into your app. And as a product manager, of course, I am always trying to understand ways to improve user experience in mobile apps and understand the problems behind these engagement issues. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
You know, when I hear stories, I have actually, when we were talking about doing this live stream, I was like, I've seen ESPN use this, and I'm actually in there. Yeah. When I look at ESPN, I sometimes go for the scores, but I'm looking at their stories too. And when I think about this, I'm like, what else can you do besides I'm thinking about how it can relate to all this thing. And so that's why we want to talk about onboarding. But what are some creative ways besides just in-app stories that you guys seen from your end, how customers are utilizing the platform?
I mean, in the beginning, it was a surprise for us as well. We thought that everyone, brand generated content is all about the campaigns. We thought like this. And after first couple of companies, we realized that people use this for onboarding. People use this for feature adoption, educating their clients, and improve their conversions in different ways other than just showing the campaigns. Maybe they're just showing the details of the specific products, So these are the interesting ones. But of course, increasing when you think about growth, increasing the onboarding experience, increasing the level of happiness of the customer during the onboarding process is the huge aspect of it. And I mean, let me be honest with you. I hate onboardings, because onboardings is explaining a joke. Because if you have a good design, then you shouldn't need to have a real onboarding flow. But I checked a couple of articles, before the live stream and even before the Storyteller project started. And there was a really great explanation in Nielsen Norman Group's articles. And let me just read the explanation of onboarding. And they say, onboarding is the process of getting users familiar with the new interface using dedicated flows and UI elements that are not part of the regular app interface. So the key point is that are not part of the regular app interface. And that's why we hate onboardings. And I mean, they're just popping up and we are trying to find a way to close them. But then there might be something to improve in that flow. And some guys in Russia, Zerion, started to use Storyteller as their onboarding process. And they put every bit of explanation as a story in their app. And after the sign up, once the people are getting used to use that specific app, they start to check these articles, these explanations about the application. So that was the time that we understand Storyly might be a great tool for onboarding.
Okay. And I want to get into what makes a good onboarding process, but I want to say hi to a few people that are joining us. And I want to say hi to Joe. Welcome back. Thank you, Joe. I'm good to be back. We're out in Disneyland last week. Had a great time. Adrian from Celtic Whispers is here. And then Shefik,
I guess.
Shefik. Okay. I knew you would get that. UrbanYogi, how's it going? We're going to take a look at your app a little bit later. So excited about that. And got a little promo for you. Rassi here. Dennis is here. Sup, Grow? What's happening? And then Sonar is here. Star Projectors, Zainab, and then Raul. Raul is, we're going to take a look at his app as well. All right. From your experience, Aykut, what have you seen work really well from an onboarding flow? Like what makes a good onboarding flow? Because and I'll tee this up a little bit too, what we've seen on our end is the onboarding flow, the welcoming flow is one of the best ways to convert your new users. And I've got some case studies I'm going to share with you guys a little bit later. But one of our previous YouTube live streams, Nick, he sort of measured where all his in-app purchases were coming from. And about 61% of his in-app purchases were coming from the onboarding flow. So I think it's a brilliant, it is, something that is very, very important.
Yeah. I know that, Steve, you like tests, and I checked a couple of tests about onboarding. And again, there was something out there in the internet, and they say that they did this test for 70 people and with 4 apps. So for one group, they created an onboarding flow. And when you download the app, you're seeing the onboarding activities. And for the second group, they just delete that. And people open the app directly inside the application. And they checked a couple of different stuff. Yeah, I mean, average task completion time, task completion success ratio, etc. And they see no difference at all. So these type of cart onboardings was not helpful for these type of users. And normally, any standard onboarding consists of 3 different functions. The first one is feature promotion. I mean, you can do a little bit of marketing during the onboarding. The second one is customization, and UrbanYogi is pretty good example for it, actually. When we investigate UrbanYogi, we will see customization onboarding flow. They have a survey inside their application. These type of onboarding, we call them as customization onboardings. And the third one is instructions or onboarding. So especially for banks, for financial institutions, we are seeing these type of onboardings. And for all of these stuff, the onboarding should happen when you need that. When you need that specific function, when you want to check that specific page, when you go there, and it should start with your intention, not the app's intention. So these are a couple of key stuff to improve the onboarding experience. But as a mobile app user, I mean, I have probably more than 50 apps in my phone right now, and all of them has these onboardings. And when I download a new app, I am sure that I will see a couple of cards, and I need to find where the cross is. So these are a couple of key takeaways. But as I said, when you open the application, if that helps you, that's perfect. That will increase the conversions. And we have seen that before, more than one time, believe me. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that point, Aykut, because it is sometimes I hate it when people are I'm not ready to do that yet, right? You're instructing me to do something that I'm just quite not ready to do. And I'm oh, this is so frustrating. If the UI is good, you shouldn't be telling me with all these arrows how to do a certain thing, because the UI should be smart enough to do that too.
Yeah, definitely.
I like it. And I know when you're thinking about Storyly and how do you really do, and I think here the topic is really about in-app messaging and in-app marketing. Is a great way to try to bring people back, convert users. And one of the features that you guys have been talking about is also introducing new features, getting people with the idle features too, hey, don't forget about this. And it's a great way to educate and entertain. I'll keep mentioning ESPN, but I'm I really like going into the app because it's oh, okay, I'm here to get data, but then I'm also here to just I really enjoy their stories as well.
Exactly. I mean, I think it's a part of onboarding. You know, onboarding is not about new users. It's about new features. And when the user is new, of course, all of the features are new. So you should always explain the new stuff, especially when you think about the super apps. So they have do tons of things, right? You can do carpooling. You can like deliver something to somewhere. So there are tons of functions inside super apps, especially. So for all of these functions, maybe you are doing different campaigns on ad networks. So you are like testing different messages, different screenshots in Apple Store, especially right after iOS 15. You can try this stuff as well. So you need to be able to customize your onboarding according to the channels, according to the features, according to the like users itself. And when you have a new feature, it's an onboarding for your existing users. And the cheapest way to grow is retaining your users, actually, not acquiring new ones. So for retaining them, of course, always you need to be sure about they're like getting the most benefit out of your applications. That's why it's so important. And I've talked about Zerion, these Russian company. And again, what they did in Storyly was really interesting regarding this feature adoption stuff, because like in the settings part, they created a place for stories, and in those stories they're explaining the functions. By the way, for those who don't know which, this is Storyly Showcase app, and you can see stories in action. Actually, it's the application we developed, and we like integrate our own SDK to our own Showcase app. To show its performance. I mean, these are the couple of takeaways about feature adoption. But of course, when you have new function, new service, of course, you need to talk about it. It's a great, I can say this for stories, it's a great place to do in-app marketing. So there's something called in-app marketing in this stuff. And you should do this by not bothering development team, etc. You should do this dynamically and preferably personalized way.
Does it always have to live as like these top three circles as a normal what we consider stories? Does it always have to be like that?
No, that's another part about Storyly. So we are not trying to be a third-party SDK. When you open the app, you realize that, oh, these guys are using Storyly. We are trying to be a native part of that application. So you can customize everything. You know, you might not even use the bar itself. So when you use, there's another company from India. They have stories button in some place in their application. And when you click on that button, the full screen experience shows up.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah, that's another use case. And you can play with these shapes. You can do rectangles. I mean, you can play with the paddings, fonts.
What about this
pretty
stuff?
much everything.
Is this a Storyly feature right here?
No, that's just a block.
Yeah, okay. And then what about this button? Is that the?
It's not directly in the Storyly, but we are showing some samples for different verticals. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was trying to pull it for Ricardo, who is the founder of Subgrow. Great mental awareness type of app that he and I sat down to. So you guys should check it out, and I'll show you this. And I was trying to think about how it might relate to him. And I could see Storyly being a great feature for his engagement, being just like, because he's got people like interacting, there's some new features. And I think, you know, like when you think about a social media platform, you're gonna want to incorporate these type of features, because, you know, my eye immediately goes to these little bubbles in the front too. And I've worked with a couple of different apps that have incorporated.
I mean, by the way, there's a huge gamification element on stories, you know, like these colorful borders, you know that there's something new. So when you click on it, there's a progress bar and you are trying to catch that up. So it's sense of urgency. So this is a beauty of gamification. And I mean, Snap invented stories, not Instagram. Sometimes people forget about it. Like,
yeah, I know. I almost forgot about it. I was like, was it TikTok?
Yeah.
I totally forgot about it.
It was 2013, and they came up with that great idea with these all gamification elements around that specific component. And Steve, most of the design elements in mobile apps are derivatives of web design elements, you know, because like we learn how to design in desktop, in web environment, and we apply all of these learnings to mobile applications. But stories born in mobile. So it's perfectly suitable for mobile applications and mobile phones. And that's why, I mean, we love stories, and maybe like in the couple of next years, maybe we can come up with another experience which born in mobile.
Yeah. The other next thing I want to talk about with you is, how do you communicate? So let's say I'm an e-commerce app, or I don't know, like, yeah, a game per se. How do you communicate offers, and what's the best way of trying to drive revenue through the app?
Yeah, I think we can compare this to our offline experiences. So when I go to store, if they know me, if they call me with my name, then I mean that's a joyful experience for me. Then I can do shopping just like I am in my home, you know. So when you have some offers, when you have some campaigns, if you use your users' attributes like name, like current status, maybe that would be a personalized experience for them, and they feel like they're in home. So you can differentiate yourself from other e-commerce app, other stores, etc. And they will be loyal. So the loyalty part is the most important part, especially for e-commerce application. They are trying to increase the frequency of their users, the purchase frequency of their users, of course. And when you have stories, I mean, you can personalize them. When you have a campaign, you can call their name. I mean, even like you can show some forgotten items in the basket as a story. You know, it can be a cart abandonment feature for yourself.
How does it,
yeah.
Aykut, how does it integrate with all the database? So do you just have to connect your database to it?
No, we are always focusing on the UI itself. So all of the integration happens inside the mobile application.
Oh, okay.
So while you are initiating the SDK, you can set a couple of dynamic parameters. And if we get these parameters, we can fill that in our stories, and you can show the personalized ones. And since we are working with banks, it's really hard to get some user attributes from them to keep that in your database. So basically, we have to do that, you know, especially for finance apps. But now, yeah, e-commerce apps are also using it. Of course, there's a couple of other methods. I mean, they can send webhooks and create audiences in Storyly as well. But we always recommend them to use mobile data and create that integration inside their application.
Got it. I know Rassi was asking about, I really already like the SDK. What are the pricing packages? And can App Master subscribers get a free?
Definitely. I mean, so Rassi, you can just reach out to me via my LinkedIn profile, or my email is aykut@appsamurai.com. So you can just send me an email. Of course, I mean, we can do a discount for you.
Well, there it is free. Use Storyly up for free up to 25,000 monthly active users as well.
For startups, yeah, we do have a startup program as well.
Yeah, so if you're new. All right, I want to say hi to a few more people. Patrick Jackson, what's up, Pat? Good to see you. And then I got a ton of people that want to say hi to. Omar's here. Nick, Asil, Khan, Irene, Kansu. You guys are really trusting my vocabulary here. Rishab, Craig, thank you for giving me a little break. Lahari, and then Gaurav, Yunus, Nessie, Alura. All right. Thank you all. Good vibes all around, like Gaurav says. All right. Aykut, you want to take a look at a couple of apps? And so if you guys want us to take a look at your apps, you know, all you guys have to do is, let me pull this up. Go to appmasters.com/audit, and we've seen some really good results here. What I love doing too is, you know, I don't think Ricardo will mind me saying this, but, you know, Ricardo and I got a chance to sit down. There's a premium option if you want to sit down for an hour with me, or if you want the free option, we'll do it live on YouTube as well. And this is Ricardo's app. So Ricardo, make sure you let me know what happens after this too. But this is Ricardo's app, and really cool idea. And I just love things that are helping people with mental health issues. And so he's built up really smart. Hopefully we'll get him on. I told him, hey, come back on. Let's make some of these changes. Even if it doesn't work that we talked about, you come back on, let's share it. And so he's going to come back on in the future as well. All right. And Joe said you all need to smash that like button. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. All right. Aykut, you want to go? So first off, it's a dad joke. Do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
For the first one, you should go first.
All right.
I need to learn from you. Yeah.
All right. Let me set some things up real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. Shoot. Okay. Here's my phone. I always make sure I have my phone with me. You'll see me when I'm preparing this stuff, taking screenshots because, you know, I go to dad jokes on Reddit and then I'm like, and I'm smiling and my family's like, oh God. Yeah. And here goes dad again. All right, here we go, Aykut. Why do teenage girls walk in groups of 3, 5, and 7? Why do teenage girls walk in groups of 3, 5, and 7?
Why?
Because they literally can't even.
Oh, right. Nice. Good one.
All right. What's yours?
All right. What did one wall say to the other?
What
did one wall say to the other?
What did one wall say to the other? What?
I'll meet you at the corner.
I like it. All right, let's take a look at. So just put it in the comments. If Aykut want, put A. If I want S, good thing I'm not saying SS. We'll have a lot of S's in the comments. But A for Aykut if you think he want, and then S for me. And then whether it's in Turkey or in California, the winner will get a free drink from the loser. How about that? All right, Aykut, we got a deal. All right, let's first take a look at this app. Once again, it is appmasters.com/audit. And we got an e-commerce app that we're going to take a look at that wants, so I'll lead off, but Ashish, actually, I'm sorry, says, hey, he wants help with Google Play ranking, the high conversion rate, and organic traffic. So I couldn't download the app because it looks like an e-commerce app. Sorry, I'm not sharing my screen, but let me do that real quick. It's an e-commerce app that is based out in India. They've had some phenomenal success. This is off. My little short description is off. But essentially, you know, 10 million downloads, so phenomenal products. So I don't know, like with ASO, I'd have to do a lot of keyword research to know if like online shopping is even a thing. I think people are probably searching for like men's clothing short description because it's not working.
Steve, may I ask you a question about this?
Sure. Yeah. Anytime.
Does the download numbers affect ASO score?
Yes and no, right? Like I think yes, in the sense that with Google Play, if you look at the search results, you see the download numbers. The main things you see in the search results are the download numbers, the app icon, and the title and the reviews. So I feel like from a conversion perspective, that's going to be pretty important when people are comparing a lot of the search results. But from an overall keyword perspective, you know, we've been able to rank certain keywords as a brand new app. And so I think from a keyword ranking perspective, it's yes and no. Like we've seen it work either way. Yeah, but I think from an ASO perspective, they're doing a pretty good job. And what I would just say is, I know they have online shopping here. If you really want to go down on online shopping, you might want to try to move it to the left. We've seen pretty good results with that. And then what I would also say is, okay, they are doing some of this stuff. So they're using some H2 tags, which is good, but I wouldn't be using H2 tags on this particular. You have the wrong text within this H2 tag. I would try to keep it short, you know, like it says Bewakoof. You said it much Bewakoof. You said it much cooler than I did. Online shopping app. So I would just put online shopping app or India's fastest online shopping app, whatever it is, but there's too many keywords here. I would try to break that up. Why download? Again, you don't need that. You just be like, why, you know, the online shopping app. So they are doing a good job of trying to put their main keywords into H2 tags. Official tie-ups, I don't know what that means. So this is probably not a good keyword. And then I personally wouldn't do this too many times, shopping app. But again, that's just me, because I think what Google will start to think is like you're starting to spam it if you have the same keywords in H2 tags. So what I would recommend, and this is worth testing, is using, let's say, men's clothing or beauty products in the H2 tags instead of repeating online shopping app all the time. That's what I would do from an ASO perspective.
And I checked the app, by the way.
Yeah.
I've downloaded it. I changed my app store country and I download the application and try that a bit.
Yeah.
Of course, I didn't use it for a long time, but like as far as I've seen, maybe like by the way, I really like the design and consistency in it. I mean, they were really consistent in design. Their pages are really great, but the thing about it is. Like the first thing is a really simple one. The carousels, like carousels are pretty old fashioned now, and their carousels was auto playing. You know, you cannot control the carousels, but they're playing automatically. So I kind of don't like it. Maybe like they can play with that. And other than that, I mean, I didn't see any personalization inside the app. Maybe like they can increase the level of personalization, but as I said, I didn't use it too much. So maybe like in the future openings, I can see some personalized content as well. Of course, that was my takeaways from.
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth it, and I don't know if it's because I'm searching in the US, but when I search for online shopping apps, Myanmar. I'm born in Myanmar, so shout out to Myanmar, Bangladesh, India, and I think it might be worth testing having India somewhere in your short description. I know you have it in here, but I think it would be interesting to also have it in the short description too. And what we've seen good success is having some social proof in the short description on Google Play. So like what they said here was the #1 India's most hotkey. Sorry.
No.
Yeah, whatever that thing is, I would put that as in the short description because I think you can really get a higher conversion. We saw, I forget I think it was about 15% higher conversion having social proof versus having just keyword based short descriptions too.
Steve, I have another question for you.
Yes, sir.
So there is a video in the among the screenshots. So you were saying that you will test the text in YouTube videos in these screenshots. I remember that. So how was it?
I'm still running the tests. So the app that we did it for, it's a brand new app. The Android version hasn't come out yet, but I would love to do that with more clients. If they have video, I would want to, what we did. So what Aykut was saying, and just in case you guys missed that live stream, I wanted to see if optimizing this YouTube video for the keywords that we're targeting would help our ASO. And that's the test I'm running. So like, let's visit this.
That's pretty counterintuitive, but I'm really curious about it.
No, I like it. So here, let's take a look at their YouTube. Let's see if it's very much optimized. Yeah, so it's looks like it's in Hindi, if I believe. But trying to optimize this, they got 9 million views. That's great. So maybe even coming up with, if it's going to be in English, coming up with the right keywords for this, and then optimize it. So worth the test here. So I think, thank you, Aykut. That's especially with an app this big. I think this is where you start looking at the little things, because the big things have already been probably covered, and it's the little things that are going to make a big difference for an app like this here. And if you're just starting out, it's the big things. You're like, all right, I got to really get this nailed in. But for an app like this with 10 million plus downloads, like that is what I would start thinking about is, can we optimize the YouTube description or the YouTube video for higher conversions? All right, cool. Aykut, man, you got a lot of friends in the comments, I think. Ram said S.
I guess so, yeah.
Joe, come on. That was wholesome. You didn't like my, teenage girl accent? I can't literally I literally can't even look at these comments, guys. I mean, this is ridiculous. All these A's. All right.
I think I'll get a free beer.
Steve, the call with you, so much worth it. One of the best helps I've gotten with my app since I started it. Thank you, Ricardo. That means a lot to me as well. All right. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. All right, Aykut. From the Storyteller side, I think one of the things I want to talk, anything that we missed that we want to make sure we cover, just to be like, hey, these, don't just think of this as a way to do X, Y, and Z. Are there some other ways that you've seen like, oh, wow, this has been pretty clever, people using the platform?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we are creating a second dimension on top of the application. So it's completely up to your creativity. You can do whatever you want to do, actually. There's a studio in Storyly environment that you can create your stories. You can add interactive components. You can do surveys. I mean, you can even like ask, did you like my app? Kind of question. And when the users are saying yes, you can open rating pop-up. So you can do this kind of stuff to increase your ratings in App Store or Play Store. These are a couple of interesting ways to do that. Of course, when you have that type of tool, you shouldn't use it just for campaign promotion. You know, there are tons of opportunities in this.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, another creative use case scenario came from India, and they are using just single circle, single highlight in their product detail page. So by doing so, they have a lot of place in the page itself, and they can explain the product in written form. And when the user click on the cover image, they can see the product details in a whole screen mode. So that's completely different use case. You know, there is no like CTAs or anything. They're just explaining details of the product in stories. Yeah.
One of the things that I love what you said, poll your users. And I know Luis, who made the Pumpkin app, he said, look, we use stories mostly to promote new and hidden features and to pull our users. And one of the things that we've been helping our couple of clients with actually is the biggest mistake I see app developers make is, hey, let me build new features and let me see if I can get like 10,000 downloads. Maybe I just don't have enough data. And I feel like these are myths, Aykut. So feel free to disagree with me. But for this one client, you know, we drove 4,000 downloads using the app advice campaign that I've told you guys about. And we got about 500 to 1,000 new signups, which is really phenomenal. And I was like, look, you have enough now, right? Pull your users, ask them. Don't just start building new features without at least talking to your users. Because a lot of times more features does not mean more users, right? And I think developers think that I just need to build more features because then they'll start coming. Then they'll start using my app. But talk to them, like pull them, talk to your users. Yeah. All right. So we got a question from somebody. Omar was saying, so in short, in-app stories like in-app messaging, Firebase, but instead it's stories based.
It's a bit more than that, but of course, like instead of using in-app messaging in Firebase, you can use Storyly for that, or like you can even connect Firebase with Storyly to show your questions in story format. That's also a possibility. But I mean, it's a bigger context than in-app messages because like you can even stream long form of videos in Storyly. So we do have an IGTV-like experience. For example, you can bring your influencers. They can take a video about maybe your application, maybe your product. And within that long form of video, you can turn it into a shoppable video by adding interactive components on top of it. So it's video enabled. So you can use multiple different interactive components, not just the surveys or polls. You can do emoji reactions, etc. It's pretty similar to Instagram, actually. We got a lot of like inspiration from Instagram, of course. But yeah, I mean, instead of Firebase in-app messages, you can use Storyly as well. And you can use them together.
And it's like Instagram polls too, the way he polls.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen like any client intel for like from running normal, boring survey type of content to using Storyly and like these polls within interactivity? Have you seen a higher take in just getting feedback from your customers?
Let me give you exact numbers, actually.
Okay, I love that.
Like I mean, since the users get used to it from Instagram, they know how to use those interactive surveys. And the thing is, they open that themselves. The app is not opening directly, so they're willing to answer these type of questions because like they choose to see that specific story. And the real conversion rates for our interactive components is around 60%. I mean, it's the average, but we have even see 80% response rate from the users who see that specific story and answer it. You know, that's amazing number. And as a product manager, I know that like how to handle with the conversion rates of, I mean, 1%, like 0.5%, 3%. But when you see something like this, 60%, now that's something different. You know, I think that like I should ask anything in story in this format. I am not really, I mean, it's not about story. It's about the answer rate and the number of answers you get. So yeah, these are the exact numbers, and we have seen that like industry average. Apptentive shared a survey last year, by the way. The industry average was around 13% for in-app surveys.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean 13 versus 60.
Wow.
That's something big. Yeah.
Yeah, that is big. I mean, 60 is huge. And then
Yeah.
Wonder Media says, do you have any case studies? We'll probably share some case studies, but yeah, go ahead.
You can check that on storyly.io. So you can check, I guess it's in the, yeah. So it's in the resources and customer stories. Yeah. There are, I guess, 7 or 8 case studies right here, but do you have any like specific vertical in mind? We can provide that as well. Of course, these are like a couple of different companies from Turkey,
Domino's,
from France.
huge.
Yeah, Domino's, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wonder Media, tell us what type of app you have and we'll start thinking about it. And that's one of those things that I was thinking about as we were preparing for this, was trying to figure out, okay, how can this appeal to a broad audience? Have you seen Storyly be used or in-app stories be used with games at all? Like, is this even a possibility?
I mean, that's a huge part of our research project right now.
Yeah.
And there's a team in the company who are working on that project. I mean, interesting use case for games, of course, especially for mid-core games, casual games. They are trying to do live ops inside their application, but in live ops process, they are not using videos or they are not using multiple call to actions inside a single video. So we provide all these functions, and currently we are in the process of building the MVP for that, and we are really excited about it. But I mean, like, games are whole another world, you know. All of the things are different, and their thinking way is also different. So yeah, we will try to come up with an MVP by the end of this year, I hope.
And then Wonder Media is curious about education apps. I think that's simple. I mean, we've worked with a couple of different education apps, like, you know, like kids love this type of stuff too. Like so I can see this being, if it's like a math app or anything else, like introducing new features or just getting them to engage and showing some
introducing new courses. I mean, Testbook is doing it, and they are even like conducting small quizzes by using stories. Right after, when you finish any course in Testbook, you see a story about it and there's a quiz in it, so you can answer these questions, and it's just a practice, of course. But yeah, there are tons of different use cases in education apps as well.
Yeah, especially if you're going teenagers like my son. He's used to just swiping up, and TikTok is all about his. All right, Emery asks, does having a lot of stories increase app size?
No, not actually. Like, there's a specific size for the app. For all the medias, we are not downloading the media at like installation time, of course. Like, during the usage, we are streaming them. Of course, when we get it into the application, we are caching them. Like, there are tons of technical details. But no, I mean, the SDK size is pretty small. It's around 1 megabyte.
Wow, that's tiny.
To be exact, it's 900 kilobyte, I guess.
Okay. Oh, that's very tiny. Okay. Cool. I like it. You ready for another joke? Right. I got to try to redeem myself. Okay. I'm going to try to redeem myself. I'm going to let you hold on 1 second for me to do this sound effect. It's a lot of, come on, StreamYard. If I can make a adjustment, allow me to share my screen. Joe, the joke. All right. Aykut, you go first.
All right.
1-0. You're winning. I have to make this up.
What do you call 2 monkeys that share an Amazon account?
2 monkeys that share an Amazon. Okay. What do you call 2 monkeys that share an Amazon account? What?
Primates.
I like that. I should just give up. I should just give up. All right. I don't even remember if this is an old joke, but I'll tell you this one. What did, since Joe liked the more, like, you know, the friendly jokes. Okay, what did he say? That was wholesome. Yeah, Joe likes wholesome. What did Old MacDonald call? Who did Old MacDonald call to protect his farm?
Who?
G.I. Joe.
Oh, right. That was nice.
Look, I think you were on that one. Okay, so I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna get mad about that one. That was really good. Primates.
I spent some time. Yeah.
You came prepared, my friend. I like it. I like it. All right, let's take a look at the next app. And I should probably already stop saying all right all the time. But Raul is here. And Raul's got an offer for us too. That let me pull it up too for Raul. So we're gonna take a look at his app. Oops, add to the stream. UrbanYogi, we've got a meditation and app masters app. And let me pull up his emails as we look up his app. He's gonna give everybody an offer. Whoops, why am I doing this? He's gonna give everybody an offer. And I'll pull that up actually while we're talking. But let's take a look at what Raul wants. Should be better prepared. Man, there's so many freaking screens. All right, I need to. Aykut, tell us another joke. Sorry, I need some time. I'm just kidding.
No, I prepared just 3 jokes and I'm like keeping it for the end.
Okay, here. Raul says onboarding and listing. Okay, onboarding and listing. Okay, let's take a look. So, Raul, I'm just gonna pretend like you got 6 reviews. So I'll talk the ASO part, and then we can jump into the onboarding and listing stuff. Yeah. But I think for these type of apps, because you're going after a pretty competitive field that has so many like huge apps in it, I would want to go after like lower competition terms. And so for, I have a sleep sounds app, and I've been finding that I try to go after like, I think it was relaxed melodies and stuff. And I had to change that around to background noise. So you want to go after lower competition keywords instead of these higher competitive, higher traffic keywords. Not to say you shouldn't have them, but at the same time, you should try to embed some lower competition keywords, especially as a brand new app, which I'm going to assume that you are, given the number of ratings you have. And so that's what I would be doing. Let's take a look at your Spanish Mexico. For those who are, I'm sure everybody in the audience knows already that the US App Store indexes the Spanish Mexico localization. So if you use English keywords in there, English title, different subtitle, and then keywords, you're able to double the amount of keywords. And what we've typically done is use the keywords that are in our, and I haven't tested this fully, but essentially we've used the US keywords that are in our US keyword field, and we put them in the Spanish Mexico subtitle, the ones that we really want to optimize for. And then those that are in the subtitle, we put them into the title. And so here you want to have brand new set of app title and subtitle here as well. It doesn't look like you're utilizing this optimization if I'm looking at this correctly. So that is an extent what I would do too. Anything you want to add, Aykut?
No, I'm not an expert on this. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take a quick little peek. I think sometimes Sensor Tower is a little bit better on this. I think this is his app. It's a different logo. No, it's just okay, same company. Maybe he's A/B testing a lot of stuff. Yeah, it doesn't look like you're utilizing the subtitle here where you are in the US. Yeah, because here it is, meditate, relax, and sleep. But if I go to Mexico, you're not using it. So Spanish Mexico, use this subtitle right here. Put different keywords in there. Again, I would try to go after different types of keywords, like maybe fall asleep fast or fall asleep. These type of keywords that they're lower traffic, but they have lower competition. And so it gets you some organic downloads too as well. All right, let's take a look at the app itself. Here, where is it? I've been downloading a ton of different apps. Here we go. So let's take a look at the onboarding. I like it.
Yep, I like it as well. Maybe like using like 3D in buttons might be a bit old-fashioned, instead of like using some calm colors, because like it's a yogi app, so you might want to use some pastel colors maybe instead of using rounds and 3D effects.
Yeah, this is a little bit misleading to me where I see an X, but it just takes me back to the main screen. I'm like, okay, I thought I could just use the app without doing it. Yeah. So I will sign up with Apple. This should be my demo phone. I should have like a demo everything on this. I'm not too lazy. I'll do that later. Didn't work. What happened here? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I'm connected to the
I,
internet.
I think now you should do login, and in the login part you should use Apple. Same thing happened to me as well.
Okay, it's a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't
after your
know.
sign up, it doesn't direct you to onboarding, but after your sign up, you can use login, and in the login, you can use Apple, and it will
Yeah,
open questionnaire, I guess.
Raul, you got to fix that, man. That is a huge. That's the first thing I would be trying to
Bummer.
fix right now.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if I weren't looking at your app right now, I'd be like, okay, bye. I'm done.
Yeah.
All right, while this reloads again, now everything is going. Let's take a look at some of the Graph Prime account, lol, primates, A, that's 2. A again, I know. Sorry, Steve. All right, you don't have to be sorry. That was pretty funny. S, so it's what? 3 to 2. S, okay.
Oh, 3 to 2. Yeah.
Wait, are we tied now? 3,
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
And just give a
Okay.
laugh. 1 for you. 4, 4,
Yeah.
4. All right, I think that was a tie. So we need one more to break it.
That was the time. Yeah. Yeah.
We need
Yeah.
one more to break it. We'll do one more.
All
Now
right.
this app is all dead. Oh, come on.
I think you can try once more. Yeah. Because like I checked that.
Okay,
Yes.
now it's
Now
working.
it starts. Yeah.
Hi, Steve. Congrats. Let's do it.
All right, now I need to stop you because like I have a suggestion in that experience. So if you're changing the question, you should use micro interactions because like we need to realize that the question changed. And
Yeah.
because like all the options are the same. And when you click on the button, the question changed, but your focus is on the answers, not the question. So if you use micro interaction for that, probably we will get that the questions changed and there's a progress bar at the top part. We can easily understand that. So that might be a feedback. And yes, the social, social approval page within these questions, I'm not sure about it because like when I tried that, I thought like it's the end of it, but I see the progress bar. I'm in the middle of it.
I know.
Yeah, so that's a pretty weird experience. I mean,
I agree. Sometimes. I think very few times is very weird for me when I hear few times. It's more like sometimes for me. Example of a micro interaction here, Aykut?
I mean, it can be just, how can I
got
say
one
this?
for you. Like one thing could be like flipping. One thing could be the question goes away and then comes back. Fade in, fade out. So
exactly, fade in, fade out might work as well. Yeah.
Okay, so how often do you feel it's a lot of questions for me? That's why I was kind of like holding back on this. It's like, it's a lot of questions for me. I just want to get into the app itself. I know you want to get this data, but I don't know how you're going to be using this data. But okay, how often do you feel tired? I really feel tired today. So I'd say
it's Friday, man.
It's Friday, I know. 40s, male. Okay. Okay, don't sweat it. This is where I'm like, okay, cool. I like this. Maybe showing the social proof because I was assuming that this app was going to hit me with the pricing page, but maybe showing the social proof here would be another great way of doing it. And what we've seen too, Raul, is longer pricing pages. So we've done a case study on this. Look at that YouTube video, but essentially we've seen longer pricing pages outperform this. I like that you have a little bit of social proof right here. 2021 app of the year, millions of happy users. And then I would then put like the thing you said like 80% more effective or something. So start. Let's see what it is. 1 week free trial, $6. Yeah, and I would try to push people into the yearly as much as possible. I just wanted to see the pricing. You're just gonna see way better. I like this. I'm gonna hit. Oh, yeah. Everything else I really like.
There's
like
another
this.
bug that I
Cool
faced with.
Oh, intercom.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, when you go into meditate, like there's some video. I'm not sure is it video or audio, but yeah, when it starts, when I go back to the homepage, I couldn't find where to stop it, so I killed the app. That was my experience about that. All
Okay.
right. In my experience, I just go to homepage and
Oh, look
I
all this.
couldn't find a way to stop that. I mean, maybe using a media player at the bottom part of the page might help. I mean, sticky media player I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, I do like it. I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm getting
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
free though. I mean, it looks like I'm getting a lot of stuff for free, so I don't know what entices me to potentially pay for anything because I don't see
Yeah.
anything being locked here. Maybe if I go
Steve,
to
is it okay to put that many number of unlock full experience banner on the app? Because like in the homepage, we have
yeah,
one at the top
yeah,
part.
mm-hmm.
And when you go inside, there are different banners as well. Uh,
Yeah, I don't
of
mind
course,
that. I don't
yeah.
mind it.
All right,
I think it's a
all
good
right,
thing because I think most developers tend to give away too much. Like
all right.
right here, what this is what I'm concerned about is like what is free? You always say unlock full experience, but I feel like I'm getting a pretty darn good experience already. So now I start seeing some locked stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I think, I mean, I personally, I'd rather be more in your face. Look, I'd rather be a little bit more
Mm,
aggressive. I don't always stick to, I don't always practice what I preach, but
all right.
for an app, like I want to be a little bit more aggressive and I like this full experience, but I also want to see locked content because it then
Mm,
trains the user that if you look at Calm, and I always focus on Calm here, and I haven't deleted the
yeah.
app here and I don't have an account, but if you look at Calm, you'll see that the first
I
thing
mean, the
Calm.
splash screen was awesome, by the way. Like, take a deep breath in the splash screen. That was amazing. I mean, every time I saw that splash screen in Calm, I'm
Yeah.
amazed. Yeah, it's pretty clever. Take a deep breath for the Calm app.
Yeah, and then you can see like a lot of their content is, blocked, right? And so,
Yeah,
yeah, you
yeah,
get some free ones when you move over, but a lot of it is just blocked. So it's like, hey, you want to subscribe? You have to subscribe. Yeah, you can get some free stuff and find it, but that's the things I would be doing with that because it's like right now I feel like everything's free. Like it feels like a free app. I never have to pay, in my opinion. So I use Calm as an example, and we've seen good results. Like we have some case studies where we did start locking up some stuff with Rudy,
mhm,
and he was able to 17x his revenues just by having some things free, but some things definitely paid on this homepage. Whereas Raul, you don't have. It looks like everything's free right here. What's this little gift button?
yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. And then Joe says millions of users is far too small. That's a huge selling point. That's on your pricing page right here. So, and then unlock full experience has a typo. Okay, I didn't even know that. Unlock full.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's misspelled.
Now I see.
Good eye, Joe. This flow is so still, feels like a boring overall experience. Good
I
feedback
don't
there.
agree. Yeah.
And then Joe says, hey, if you simply animate all the questions and answers off the screen, yeah, exactly. And cool. And you need to illustrate. Yeah, good. Joe agrees. You need to illustrate a lot of content. They'll give away so much for free. Cool. Aykut, anything you want to add here?
No, but like from the design perspective, it's a pretty neat app.
Yeah, it
Congrats.
is.
So
Well
yeah,
done. Yeah,
yeah,
well done.
definitely.
Well done on that. All right, Aykut. Let me pull up. So if you guys do want to, Raul was kind enough to send us an offer. So let me go to the website right now and I'll pull that all up for you guys as well. So if you go to, oh, I love the scrappiness of this, Raul. Love this. Okay, so if you go to urbanyogi.live/redeem, that's a handful, but urbanyogi.live/redeem and put in app masters all one word. App masters all in one word. So I'll do that right now. Let's see. This works. App masters like this. You'll get a month free. So they'll email you a coupon code for 1 month off. It's automatically added. Oh, you have to use the same email ID. I did not, but if you do, you can do that as well. All right. Joe says overall the UI looks sharp. I really dig it. Cool. Raul, you have to teach me how you got Typeform to talk to your backend. That's pretty clever because this is Typeform, if I'm not mistaken. That's
Yes,
pretty
yes,
cool.
it's time for.
Yeah, I like it.
I guess
I like
Zapier
the
doing
scrappiness.
that.
What's that?
Zapier. You can
Yeah, that's
use
true.
Zapier to connect with Typeform and anything.
Aykut, you're way more smarter than I am. Aykut, anything you want to cover before we say goodbye? Have a good weekend.
I mean, I'm always saying that like retaining your users is the easiest way to grow your app.
Yes.
So for every app owners, what I can recommend is to focus on the retention and increasing the engagement, whether by stories or by another methods. It doesn't matter, but you need to focus on the engagement and the retention. That's really important. And for all of the businesses, the core metric is pretty simple, right? Your LTV should be a lot bigger than your cost of user acquisition. So you need to increase the LTV, not just focusing on decreasing the user acquisition part. And you can really increase LTV. And when I talk with games and game owners, I know that they got that, they got that idea, and they are focusing on increasing ARPDAU, their LTV, and all of these methods can be applicable for applications as well. And I mean, when you figure out the opportunities you can create inside your applications, you will be amazed how it will increase your lifetime value for your clients. I mean, these are like these are the things that I can say. But regarding Storyly, of course, if you want to try that, just let me know. We can provide a discount, or if you are like in the startup package, you can use it freely. And I mean, I really love that product. Yes, I am the head of it, but I can genuinely refer that,
Yeah. Well, you said it best. And a couple of things I want to hit on after that, just so you guys understand, is look, Aykut said it, don't just focus on lowering your cost per installs, focusing on increasing that cost per acquisition. And kind of like what we did with Raul and his app, getting UrbanYogi, is try to get more people into the yearly. We've seen a lot better results from a lifetime value perspective in getting more people to sign up for the yearly. So definitely do that. I love that point. It's a point that you should really hit home. All right, guys, the website is called Storyly.io. It is linked up into the YouTube description, but Storyly.io. They got a free package. Aykut say he's going to hook you up if you just mention App Masters. So that's a cool thing too. And if you want to really increase that engagement, really come up with ways to interact with your users. I feel like if you're a new app, you're trying to find product market fit, it's a great way to figure out what people are using. You don't need a lot of users. You just need some context to figure out what they like and what they don't like. Remember, more features does not mean more users. So check it out. And if you're already big, well, shoot, go check out Storyly to engage your users. Figure a way to figure out like, hey, what are they engaging with? It's gonna help. It's already helped others. And you can see it on Instagram. People, they've seen engagement increase because of stories as well. All right. That is it. Aykut, if the audience wants to follow up with you, and thank you for coming on, do you want to send them anywhere else besides Storyly.io?
I mean, they can reach me out on LinkedIn as well. Probably you shared that link as well.
Yes, I did.
Thank you very much for having me, of course. It was fun. Yeah.
I said, PayPal said, what were you saying about sticky player? Asking because you did not complete this sentence. Sticky player. I don't remember that one. Do you remember that one?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Omar says, thank you, Aykut and Steve. Arda, Zainab, and then Craig, and then Emery as well. That's good stuff. Aykut, thank you so much. Next week, guys, I'm back. I'm not going to miss a Friday anymore, but we're talking with Bravo Studio, who's all about a no-code app builder. So if you just have an app idea or you want to figure out how to really communicate with your developer in a proper way so you don't have overcharges, stay tuned for that. We're going to talk all about why you should be using a no-code app builder. So next Friday, same time, 9 a.m. Pacific. Aykut, thank you so much for coming on and doing this.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. Thank you so much as well.
All right, guys, have a great weekend, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye.
Bye-bye.